Hey,
You're
Jimmy.
like, you're like, hey, I haven't even remembered like what comes first.
Is there an order? There is no order.
There's not really an order. Not for hitting the switch. Like, yes, we are live.
Power on.
Yep,
So we are live. We're already into maps because
yep.
that's what one architects like to do. That's what I like to do. I don't know about you, but I love panning around Google Maps and sort of stumbling across buildings that I think are interesting. And the reason I'm doing it now is because we're planning on going to the AIA conference in a couple of weeks. No, a couple of months.
Like,
Maybe I wish it was a couple of weeks away.
right.
So we're going to San Francisco, Jamie.
Yeah, it's like vacation time.
Yeah, it's going to be hopefully nice weather. I don't know. They're suffering at atmospheric rivers right now, so a lot of calamity in the weather scene right now out there. But so what are we looking at, Jamie?
We are looking at the aerial view of um, the convention center in relationship to one of our desired coffee sketch spots.
Yeah, it's always fun when you have a big city, and Google Maps has the 3D aerial scans of the buildings. So this is a Morphosis designed building, the San Francisco Federal Building that we're all. I don't know. I'm a fan. I don't know about you. Ever since they designed this thing and then it subsequently got built, it's been on the list to visit for sure.
Well, and like you're saying, it's like, you've got these sort of Google Street View, and flying around, and that's only gets you so far. I mean, it's the urban explorer, I think, in all of us, that we just, we, dig a good walking tour, kind of lean into that architecture junkie, and pack the pens and pencils, find a good coffee shop, and go sketch the crap out of this thing. And other stuff. I mean, that's the whole thing. And like this street here, I mean, like that building right there in front of you with those amazing windows. I don't know what that is, but I am totally intrigued by it.
Yeah, I gotta get. Unfortunately, the Street View got uh, kiboshed
Dang
by the
bus!
by
It's the
the bus.
bus.
I tell you, if I could go farther, if I go past the bus,
No, it looks like the buses have parked.
you might get a little better. It's not bad.
Oh, it's a theater. Interesting. Oh, and you can see it there on the side too. There's the architect in us. Where we're looking at the profile of the building.
We're looking at a bus right now.
Yeah, you were looking at the bus. I'm looking at the profile of the building. See it right up there, just peeking out. Yeah, yeah. What's going on there? That looks interesting. Yep, somebody
Yeah,
doing something. Yep.
yeah. The Conservatory Theater, kind of. It's nice. Super bright red. It's actually a question I was going to ask you. Is thoughts on painting brick? I don't know if we've talked about that much.
You shouldn't do it. Um,
What if it's all red like this?
well, okay. So here's sort of the advice that we give, just in sort of the simplest terms. You know, historically, brick was not painted. And but if historic brick has been painted, can it be removed? Yes, generally speaking, most of the time it can be removed, but it needs to be done, by professionals, and in some cases, that might be an expensive process. So, that's one consideration. But if you've got a historically unpainted brick building, and you're doing some rehabilitation work to it, maybe even having to repair some brick, or repoint some mortar or things like that. A lot of times you also get the advice as a property owner, to paint the brick or seal the brick up, or do all these things to kind of really change the appearance of this building. And though paint will certainly change the appearance of a building, and maybe you have some really great grand designs for that, what you're actually doing is you're making a porous surface that was intended to breathe, covered with brick. So you're sealing it to a certain degree, but it's also absorbing and sort of sucking that paint into the brick. And now you've created a maintenance situation, where you're going to have to effectively repaint that building, a lot sooner than you probably were planning to. And you potentially are going to be trapping moisture in the brick. So you might be, creating some unwanted damage. If, especially with an older building too, is if there's any roof repairs or window leaks or water infiltration in, different areas, you've got party walls between buildings, there's lots of potential problems. And by adding that coating that you're really doing for an aesthetic, you might be making your life a whole lot difficult.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And I've seen a lot of painted brick here in Michigan. And, like you said, it's like building science, trapping moisture. But then you start to see that the paint kind of holds on, but then you see the weaknesses, and then you'll just see dust. It's not like even brick. The brick starts to just turn into dust and just crumble, just because so much moisture gets up in there. So
yeah, I mean, and some people get super aggressive about that advice, and you'll see online if you get a bunch of architects together, they'll be or traditionalists, even and not even just architects, but like traditional. I mean, everybody starts to have this super strong opinion. I mean, there's obviously some reality checks that you need to do to some of those kinds of discussions. But for Main Street projects that we deal with in sort of urban environments, if a building has been painted, more often than not, we're giving some aesthetic advice about repainting it. But at the same time, trying to educate about what's kind of going on, or what other things that they might need to look at in the future, because there's certainly going to be some problems down the line. Even if the paint job is a nice, provides a nice aesthetic for the building, or a repainted facade.
yeah. So I'm not a fan. I choose no.
Right. I mean, in some cases, there were buildings that came online in the beginning of their life where they were coated. But that's usually pretty rare.
Yeah, that's true. It's not the there are masonry buildings that were designed to be that way, but I defer back to well, it's interesting. Look at this. Sorry, distracted by the Google, but it's kind of sad that the sort of tent city that's going on just behind the Morphosis building. So interesting condition of our, big city like San Francisco. But so what was the one other thing I was going to say about the brick was deferring back to our fave Louis Kahn when he asked Brick what Brick wants to be. Brick wants to be unpainted. I just want to be Brick.
Yeah, I think he probably had it right.
So it's just kind of nice to see the glass facade. So we're gonna have to check this thing out.
But I'm glad that you sort of as you're sort of stumbling around, you're kind of and not saying that you're stumbling, but as you're kind of zooming around, there's realities to all these places that you go to, and I think that's part of the urban explorer aspect of all this too, is that you want to get to know these cities and kind of what's what some of the realities are for it, and you know, a lot of it is akin to things going on and where we live as well.
Right. Yeah.
That's a really bizarre kind of ground plane, by the way, that I've not necessarily seen.
Which
Yeah.
part? This piece of the building?
This whole piece of the building. It's kind of
Yeah.
the less photographed.
Oh yeah, exactly. Hold on. Let me. I actually. Oh, where's my mouse? I kind of these things. I don't think they're weathering very well, unless they.
No, and they're kind of aggressive. I mean, it's like,
Sorry, I got kicked out of the street view. Let's get down. Yeah, well, it's one of those things. I guess it's a federal building, right? It probably has. I wonder if this fence is even original or part of their, uh, you know, post 9/11 safety things that they added into it.
yeah. I mean, all the buildings have to be defensible, to a
Defensible.
certain distance, and yeah. But yeah, no, definitely excited that that's the proximity of that to where we're going to be downtown. Add that one to the list for the coffee
Yep.
sketch.
There's gonna be quite a few, and let's just I wanted to pan back over to. So we're staying over here, the Hyatt, right? What do you know? I forgot which one it is. It's right over here. Here it is, right here.
No, it's right here, over here,
The Grand
right
Hyatt.
there. I find my cursor.
You know what's fun? Have you done this yet? Have you looked for any coffee shops down below?
No, because we only
Ooh,
made the reservations like this weekend, so no,
that's
I have not. But
that's right. Look, it's right next to an Apple store. If my mouse could get me to this side, look.
well, I mean, California is kind of their mothership, so
Yeah, you're right. I wonder how many Apple stores there are.
it's kind of like every corner probably.
So yeah, this is fun. I mean, this is definitely a little departure from what we normally do on the podcast, but kind of fun still. Plus, it's it looks a little warmer out there than it is here in Michigan. So
Yeah, it's this. Remember, this is this is before the episode.
true. Yeah, we haven't yet pushed the real live button yet. So
Yeah, this is just the warm up chit chat. Like, don't understand.
So we're like at what is the Union Square? So pretty cool. I mean, we're definitely gonna have to get some coffee and sketch in here. The ooh, look at that. Well, this looks familiar. Interesting. Man, we're kind of in the high rent district, huh?
Something, yeah.
Louis Vuitton, Saks, Neiman Marcus. Yeah, I'll give props to Jamie for booking the hotel room.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and hit let the real feed begin.
I'll get out of here. Oh, but so much fun. Look at this. We'll have to do this again before the next episode too. So
Okay.
all right, let me turn that off. Because then as with like a kid in a candy store, I'm getting distracted. Why is my mouse not working? Oh, there. All right. This is why we get the troubleshoot the warm up out of the way.
This is like when Kurt like figures out all his buttons. He's like, I've got all these presets, and then what were they again?
Well, it's user error as usual. All right, let me hit this intro.